to Insomniac Gaming Theater. I am your host, The Crazy Player, and, well, it's been a bit since I have hosted for you all, and I'm still awake because I got some things I need to do, and this is the opportune time to do them where I am, which I will explain to you momentarily. But first, let me do this. We're going to get logged in. At least I hope we're going to get logged in. There we go.
Creates new weakness. Pupil. Can you balance these opposing forces?
And very good. So, it is my 100-day login on Insomniac Gaming Theater, the account. And because of the way the login system was changed a while back, I have options here. Interesting. Give me just a moment. I'm getting used to some new things. My apologies for the technical difficulties, folks. I see. Okay, so I'm at my 100-day login, and I have a choice before me, but I'm also having some interesting. I'm having some technical issues. Hopefully they will resolve themselves shortly. So, I can hear yourself asking, where the heck have I been? Well, let me answer, at least in a general sense. So, beginning of November of last year, I had some personal problems, some personal issues, that made it very clear to me that I was going to have to move from my home in the great state of Texas because it was no longer sustainable. Now the problem was, where was I going to move and what was going to happen? Fortunately, my brother from another mother, who I will call Max for purposes of this because that's one of his online names, offered me the sanctuary of his home. So I have spent the months since early November plotting, planning, and just recently executing my move to the state of Ohio, where I am currently residing. And along the way, there have been many trials and tribulations, including my getting a cracked ankle on the very first day of the move up here. And then, the minute I get here, his internet goes on the fritz. So it took some time to get that sorted out. But I am now able to somewhat stream, and if the stream stability becomes untenable and it won't upload or there are too many problems, then I will end up uploading this as a video on demand because I am recording it in the background, and it will end up being premiered at a later date again on to this very Twitch stream. And as with all things that I record for our free-to-play through our free account here on Warframe, it will eventually end up on my YouTube channel. You can find a link down below to my YouTube channel. I do not have one of those nice fancy URLs because I do not have enough subscribers, but hopefully that will change in the not too terribly distant future. In any case, please let me know if there are any issues with the stream. If you have problems watching it, if it's not coming through clear, please let me know so that I can make the appropriate plans and adjustments. Thank you for listening to me ramble on for several minutes now. We are going to... So, I have had some experience with the Azima as a weapon, and it is middling at best. I've heard good things about both the Zenith and the Zenistar, and I think I'm going to choose the Zenistar because it just seems like it could be a lot of fun. I don't have a better reason than that. It just seems like it could be fun. So we're going to pick the Zenistar as our weapon.
A new quest is available in your codex.
So we have a number of things.
Inbox messages make me ill.
Ooh, yes. We have a number of things going on right now. This is a special weekend in addition to it being my 100-day login. There is a special event going on this weekend where it is the War on Grenier Lancers, and we need to go and kill as many of them as possible. So there's that. There is also a special mission that will reward us with a number of relics for mostly vaulted items. And in addition to that, we are up for our MR7 Mastery Test. Oh, yes, and if I am not mistaken, there is still about 13 hours left on the Valentine's Day specials, which include a color palette that you can pick up for 1 in-game credit. And if you are looking for reds or pinks for your color palette for your fashion frame, you should most definitely pick that up when it is available, which is right now. Yes, I will spend 1 measly credit. There's also these interesting these heart skins that you can get for any weapon that fires an arrow. The thing is, they're not a permanent thing. They're a thing that go on your gear wheel, and you'll eventually run out of them. So I'm less enthused about that. You can also, if you have an excess of in-game credits,
Me too.
you can... If you have an excess of in-game credits, you can purchase these little heart decorations for 50,000 credits apiece. Since we have just under 2 million, we're going to be skipping that because we do not have the necessary credits to make that worthwhile. And then there is a discount on the platinum cost of... I guess there's also... Well, in this case, there's a discount, since this is costs credits to begin with, there's a discount on the credit cost. The Mark I Paris isn't... We've already worked through it. It's not that great of a weapon. The regular Paris, the discount on this one is on the platinum cost. And, as I have said previously, do not buy weapons from the market for platinum. Just don't. Even at this reduced price, it's just not worth it. You're better off just building the thing. Let's see. Have we? We haven't mastered this yet. Okay. Interesting. Well, we'll work through that at the appropriate time. And then, of course, you can buy skins for a discount as well. I'm not super impressed, but definitely pick up the color palette, because free color palettes or 1 in-game credit color palettes are really quite delightful. Let's see here. So there's that. Apparently we have things in our inbox. Oh yes, we got a Kavat starter kit. This was a thing that we got for watching one of the streams. And, ooh, we got a floof. That's nice. Those are basically stuffed animals that you can put around your ship. Alright. It does seem like the stream is perhaps lagging a bit behind where I am, so if it takes a while for me to respond to your comments, please, I hope you'll be understanding. In any case, those are both very nice. Let's see, how is our clan doing? Okay, good. We are still in the clan. That's good. Because of the various things happening in my life, I had to take to begin. Oh, yes, and also we have a number of other things going on. We have acquired ourselves a Sahasa Kubro pup, which we bred, who is ready for incubation, or I should say is ready to be matured, and thus we can do the Howl of the Kubro quest. However, there's some other things we're going to want to do first. Here. Okay, so we don't have enough alloy plate to build the Kavat incubation segment, which we would need if we wanted to breed a Kavat, and honestly, I'm not in a big rush for it. Okay. Now, we have, over here we have, in progress, which really, honestly, is things that we can pick up. These are all ready. We have the Atarax and the Volnus, which are both weapons that we will eventually work through. There are some melee changes coming soon to Warframe. That's soon with the little trademark symbol after it. So we may wait until those happen before we do this. Although that reminds me of something. I also took the opportunity in and amongst the things happening with my life. I still logged in occasionally to do things. And right around Christmas of last year, we had the release of Mesa Prime. So this brings me to an interesting point about being a new player, being a free-to-play player, and Prime Warframes. So, as you can see, obviously, I picked up Mesa Prime, and I have built her, and she is ready for us to collect anytime we are want to do so. So, let me show you, at least in part, why I felt it was appropriate to pick Mesa Prime up. So, we are currently on just about to start Oranos, although actually we have a number of other things we're going to do before we actually start Oranos, but that's a thing also that we will get to momentarily. Okay? Mesa, regular Mesa, can only be found... Well, first of all, you have to complete a quest to get her boss. Okay? And then... Oh, maybe it is. Yeah. Okay. So, you have to complete a quest to get to her boss. And her boss is around Eris. And it's Mutalist Alid V. Right? If you have no idea who Mutalist Alid V is, don't worry about it. I will explain such things in due time. Suffice it to say, we're over here. Regular Mesa can't even be acquired until here, and you have to do a quest for her. However, Mesa Prime can be built by anyone who is Mastery Rank 2 or higher. Now, we are about to do our Mastery Rank 7 test. So we are definitely higher. Oh, yes. In addition to that, as has been the case with recent Warframes, Mesa Prime is statistically slightly improved over regular Mesa. She has a slightly larger energy pool. I believe she has slightly higher armor. And there may be a couple of other things that I'm forgetting. My memory is good, but it's not photographic. Okay, we are going to set our extractors to running. Oh, no, focus. Wait, what? Okay, that's weird. There's supposed to be... Okay. Another thing that I wanted to mention very, very briefly was there was a major update to the servers for Warframe. And they changed some things. And one of the things that they changed was... Or one of the things that happened was that it reset a number of options within the game itself. I had to redo my audio, and I'm going to have to redo it again because the master audio and the music audio are these are too high. Interesting. It saved the Ordis volume at 50%. Let's see here. And then... Oh, and let's turn that off. Good gods. So film grain we want off. Okay. And it had reset depth of field and motion blur, both of which we want off. Those are just terrible. Let's see here. And then... Okay, well, we have the sniper scopes off for the moment. Gameplay. Chat, we want out of region chat. Because that's no fun, because there's nothing useful there. And then... Okay, good. So they had turned off toggle sprint, which really annoys me. I also had to redo all of my key bindings. That was very annoying. Let's see here. So, yeah. And let's see here. So I had to go through and redo all of my key bindings, change a number of things. Oh, and in amongst all of the other things that happened, my mouse died, so I had to get a new mouse. Stuff. Yes, save changes. So those are some things that I recommend doing.
Tenno, a new alert has begun. It will be marked on navigation.
Okay. So, let's see here. So, this is our grinding. We are almost done with the Mark I Furax. And then once we're done with it, we can level the Zenistar. Oh, and we also have the regular bow. Yes, we need to do that too. Okay. We have the Tomos. Now, in and amongst all of the things that were going on,
Covered in blood.
Safe and sound.
Thank you, Ordis. In amongst all the things that were going on, I put a Forma into the Heck because I wanted to... Well, because we needed... Let's see here. Okay. Because I wanted to fit Blaze and point blank on here. So we still have a ways to go. Alright. We're going to unequip this because Helios does not need a weapon now. We have our friend bot Helios over here, who is going to scan things for us. And this is actually very important. This is also part of why we are not doing certain things right at the moment. We have a mission that we need to go do. It is absolutely important that we do that as soon as we can. It's a survival. So I think the best one for that is actually going to be Rhino. However, I think we are going to give the Zenistar a whirl here. And because the Zenistar was a gift from DE, it comes already with an Orokin catalyst installed, so it has double mod capacity. So that's nice. Let's see. And we have a stance for it, so we're going to put that on there, and then we're going to max the stance out because we can afford to do that. That's another thing. I have been regularly running the Maru missions, so we have that. So that's going to give us even more capacity.
I am not equipped to feel envy.
Excuse me. We're going to put pressure point there. And it does heat damage. That's good. Let's see here. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, right. Okay. We could do that. Oh, so this is another mod that we picked up. Drifting Contact. It greatly increases the duration of your combo counter and greatly increases the status chance of your melee weapons. So this is a good one. Decisions. I think we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. And that's not a bad place to start. Give me just a moment. Dear viewer, fellow insomniacs, I will be back momentarily. Alright, now as you can see over here, the Zenistar does entirely heat damage. And it has an interesting thing connected to it relating to that heat damage. I'm going to be curious to see how that works, because I've only heard about it. I've never actually. If we do this, does it change? Doesn't change the amount of damage we do. Okay. Just changes the damage type and changes it to gas. Radiation. No. Blast. Okay. We don't have enough for 2 of those. So we're just going to go with that, because that gives us an increased chance of lighting somebody on fire. Oh yes, and we need to do this. Ooh. That's actually pretty spiffy looking. It's not bad at all. Nice. And, of course, since it's a heavy blade, you can put other skins on it. Most of them are Tenojin. But they're nice enough looking. But I kind of like the way it looks, so we're going to go with that. we'll leave that off because we don't want friend bot Helios over here getting too much aggro. Oh, yes, that's right. And we do have a mastery test to do. We're going to go do that. It's a combat test. So, we're going to do this.
Your Warframe is a weapon. Prove you have mastered its power.
Okay, so we're going to throw Iron Skin on, and then I wonder... Okay, it doesn't. Now we have a time limit in which we need to eliminate these enemies. Fortunately, we have done it. Or at least we eliminated the first wave. We have about 30 seconds. We need to kill one more enemy, so that's wave 2. We need to kill 20 enemies in a minute and a half. That shouldn't be a problem. Especially not with the Atamos. Wave 3 completed. We actually killed one more enemy than we needed to. We almost ran out of ammo, but we did it.
This test is now complete. Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
And so our standing limit is increased, as is our base mod capacity. Which means the Zenistar here now has 2 extra mod points available in it. I don't think that's going to substantially change anything, but... Oh. Oh, yes. Because... Okay. I don't know that there's anything here that we really need right away. So I think we're going to wait until we have slightly better...
Operator, you have remembered well how the Tenno armed themselves.
Until we have slightly more levels on that. So, we're going to go do... Interesting, okay. We're going to go do this mission, which is a gift from the Lotus. And that's going to give us 10 Meso relics, which when we then crack them, we have the chance of getting... Well, the most important thing out of them is that we can get Saren Prime out of them. This is a survival against Grineer for half an hour. So, away we go. Or do we? We need to go where? Titan. Oh, we haven't been to Titan yet. I see.
Operator, are you enjoying the view?
Either way, it's going to be a defense mission. Okay. I want to give us the chance... We're going to go back to...
Tenno, a new alert has begun. It will be marked on navigation.
We're going to go back to our grinding, because we have some abilities. And this will give us the opportunity to show off those abilities. Okay, so this is Limbo's fourth ability, the Cataclysm. Now, as you can see, it creates a bubble of energy. What's important here is that anything that crosses into the bubble of energy takes damage. Or I should say any enemy that crosses into the bubble takes damage. This is relevant because at the level we're playing at, most of the enemies qualify. They won't just take damage, they will take fatal damage. Now, a lot of people hate Limbo for a defense mission, but that's because... So Limbo's second ability... Okay, let me start back at the beginning. Limbo's first ability allows him to put people into the Rift, which is his own special plane of existence. His second ability allows him to freeze anything that's in the Rift, so it does so that he can murder them at his leisure. His third ability is you cast it on something that's in the Rift, and when they go out of the Rift, they get knocked back into the Rift, right? So, this is the Rift. This is where anything inside this bubble is considered to be in the Rift. This is outside the Rift. Now, Limbo's passive ability is that he can jump into the Rift anytime, and he can stay here. Whilst in the Rift, he is essentially invulnerable. There are very, very few things that can cause harm to him. However, Warframe abilities transcend the Rift. So if you put an allied Warframe into the Rift, and they are, say, Volt, and they start using their powers, they can do a lot of damage. Also, because the Rift is a separate plane, if I put it over the defense objective, and the enemy is outside of the bubble and tries to shoot into the bubble and hit our defense objective, it does nothing. It does no damage. So that's why Limbo can be good on defense, because he can say, haha, you can't hurt the objective. The reason he can be bad on defense is that a lot of Limbos put the Cataclysm over the objective and then freeze everything that tries to come into the Rift, and you end up with enemies that are frozen there. It also used to be that Limbo, that the only thing that worked on enemies in the Rift was melee attacks, which was a problem. Nowadays, they changed it so that gunfire works in the Rift. You actually used to do really weird things where you would set up these huge, like, balls of fire that you set up. And I don't mean like actual fireballs, but I mean like you would shoot a bunch of bullets, and then you would cancel stasis, and it would and suddenly all of the bullets would start moving, and it would do huge amounts of damage. It was actually, if you could set it up, it was really amazing, but it was also really weird. And very frustrating to a lot of players.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more.
Alright, since we're just clearing nodes, we're going to go ahead and extract here. They can all stay if they'd like to, but we're done with what we came here to do.
We're done here. The extraction team will take over from here.
Nice, and we're done with the Mark I Furax, which means we can use it on... Interesting. I had the highest damage. It's very odd. Okay. I do gotta say, that view is pretty nice. Okay, so... Since we're done with the Mark I Furax, we're going to go ahead and equip the... Yeah, we're going to equip the Zenistar over here just because I want to play around with it. And then we're going to sell the Mark I Furax because it is a terrible weapon we do not need to keep. Let's see here. Or the regular kunai, which we need to eventually level. We'll work through these things in due time. Alright, so we need to work our way over to Titan, which means we also need to do a Grineer Sabotage. Yeah, why not?
Do you remember the old war, Operator? Orders seems to have misplaced those memories.
So I really like Limbo. He's actually one of my favorite Warframes.
Harvesting a nearby planetoid for weapons-grade material. Locate and destroy their mining equipment.
I'm curious if that will... So that is the Zenistar's special thing, is...
Mission success hinges on the destruction of the mining equipment.
Oh, actually, we can probably test it with this. Oh, it does damage based off of whether or not we're in the rift. That's very interesting. Okay, so the Zenistar's disc, which it can throw out... does damage in the area around it. Okay, that's very interesting. It's very slow, though. I didn't realize how slow it was. Okay, so we're going to try and cover Limbo again in a little bit more detail. So, Limbo's passive ability is that he can dodge into the rift, and he leaves these little portals. Now, when we're in the rift, if you'll notice, down in the bottom right, we are actually fairly quickly recovering hit points. Now, our first, energy. Whenever you're in the rift and you leave these little portals, now what's interesting is if you dodge out of the rift and then through one of those portals, you'll end up accidentally putting yourself right back into the rift. So, remember that. Also, because when you leave those little portals behind, other players can get caught in them. A lot of players find that really annoying. If you find yourself caught in a Limbo rift and you don't want to be, just roll and you'll get right out of it. Okay? So, our first ability is called Banish. Okay? And it puts enemies into the rift, which means they are ours to do with as we please. We can freeze them and then shoot them at our leisure. Ooh. Goodness. Friendbot over here is scanning at a considerable distance. I'm pleased with this. Okay. Our second ability is Stasis, which is this. And it means that any enemy... Excuse me. I bumped my mic. I apologize. Any enemy in the rift is frozen. It's its own special effect. And it's got a lot of uses. But, okay. So, wow. And yes, and crossing into and out of the rift does damage to enemies. So, against low enough level enemies, you can just kill them by banishing them. Trying to see if I can find somebody strong enough. Okay. And then we put Rift Surge on them, and that means when they eventually fall out of the rift, and this is what's up with Stasis. You'll notice that their weapon just completely froze. Right? You are our plaything now. Okay, so I'm going to put Rift Surge on them. They're going to fall out of the rift because Banish ended. Well, and then they died because they took damage for falling out of the rift. But if they had not died, they would have fallen... They would have fallen back into the rift. Now, whilst we are in the rift, as I've said previously, we cannot be damaged by most things. And by most things, I mean almost anything.
Target found. Destroy it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Target found. Destroy it.
Okay. No. What the heck? What did I run out? Oh, I must have. Yeah, I got knocked off. That's annoying.
Target found. Destroy it. You are surrounded by Grineer Marines. Excellent work. You have managed to thwart potentially dangerous discoveries from being fully realized. For now.
So as you can see, Limbo, despite not being Rhino tough... What the heck? Oh. Is actually really hard to kill because you can spend all of your time in the rift. By the way, Extraction doesn't care if you're in the rift or not.
Executed.
All right. So we should now be able to do the gift from the Lotus, yes. So we're going to change our loadout back over here to get things done. Because we're going to do Rhino. Because I think if I did it as Limbo, I would just end up annoying people. You're telling me no one else is doing this mission? I don't believe you. Really? Okay. I find that very difficult to believe, but we'll see.
A lone Tenno operative is raiding this ship for supplies. You are here to distract the enemy. Trigger the alarm.
Okay, we've got someone joining
Life
us.
support has been cut off. They're trying to choke you out. Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary life support. The first life support capsule has arrived. Activate it when your supply is low.
Now, the absolute best Warframe to do this kind of mission is we want a Necros in the party. But I don't have Necros. Yeah, I was going to say, I think we're going to use the Atamos here.
Life support incoming.
Because the Heck does a heck of a lot of damage, but it's a single target weapon for the most part.
Another life support capsule is now available.
Now this mission is kind of long. It's a half an hour survival, which is a long survival. Fortunately, it will give our Helios plenty of time to scan things. It'll give us plenty of time to rank up our Zenistar.
Life support on the way.
Okay, we've got a Revenant, we've got an Octavia, that's nice, and a Harrow.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
Octavia is actually a really great Warframe. She's actually she's really powerful. So that's nice. Alright. Okay. We're also getting a bunch of plastid. That's good.
life support.
So we want to try and stick together with the rest of everybody, because that way we can cover each other, revive each other, and generally make life miserable for the Grineer, as one is wont to do.
Additional life support has arrived.
It looks like the endless slaughter of the enemy is giving us plenty of life support, because I don't think we've had to activate a capsule yet, which is good.
Get ready for a capsule.
Now, because we're in affinity range of our allies, everything that they kill gives us a certain amount of affinity or experience. So even though we're not using our weapons to kill stuff, they are going up.
Capsule is now available.
So this is, as a side note, one of the things that we need to do, and in amongst all of this, is we want Helios to scan enemies, because we would like to have a full codex, and Helios will scan them for us. Yay!
Get ready for a capsule.
Wow, this thing is really slow. I need to put a Fury in and a speed increase into this ASAP.
I've delivered another life support capsule.
So yes, I know this is not the most thrilling viewing, but this is the thing we most definitely want to do, because we most definitely want this reward. It is a very good reward, or at least a potentially very good reward.
Life support incoming.
Okay, they went over this way for some reason.
Additional life support has arrived.
It's been a little while since I played this, so I am, admittedly, a touch rusty. Although we are getting a lot of plastids out of this mission, which is nice. So we're 10 minutes in, we have yet to use a life support capsule.
Life support on the way. I've delivered another life support capsule. That should keep you going for a while.
Okay, somebody activated one of our life support capsules, which is fine. The thing that you want to avoid when it comes to activating life support is having more than one person activate life support and having that lead to okay. Wow, there's a lot of enemies in this hallway. Okay. And having that lead to basically wasted life support by having too much life support.
Prepare for life support.
Generally, you want to wait until life support is around 30 or 40%. Definitely don't activate it if it's much above 60. Or about 65 is the absolute maximum. Before that, you're just wasting time. You know, if the life support's higher than that, you're just wasting it. And in particular, as the Lotus mentions, enemies will drop individual life support capsules, which will increase the amount of life support the group has by, I think it's about 10%, or excuse me, 2%, not 10. I wish it was 10. I was going to say, we need to get back in affinity range.
Additional life support has arrived. life support on the way. Another life support capsule is now available.
Okay, sorry about that. One of our teammates has, as I previously mentioned, has Octavia, and said in chat they don't know how to use them. So I'm pointing them in the direction of somebody whose content I actually really like, my buddy Brozine, who vaguely knows who I am. That said, if you are sensitive to curse words, you might want to avoid his YouTube channel, because he's a bit of a potty mouth. Not super bad, but very colorful with his language.
Life support activated.
Alright. We're past the halfway point, which is good. Now, as you can see, the Zenistar disc will stay there for quite a long time, and it will continue to do damage.
Life support
Which means we can effectively close off that spot with the Zenistar disc.
That should keep you going for a while. I've delivered another life support capsule. Life support has been replenished.
Oh, okay. So Rhino's Roar increases all damage an ally does, whether it's with their abilities or with weapons, doesn't matter.
Tenno, prepare for life support.
Yeah, I'm not surprised she's down. She's way away from the rest of us.
Additional life support has arrived.
So the longer the mission goes on, the higher level the enemies will be and the more dangerous they will be. eventually we're going to have to start using all of our abilities to keep from dying. Let's see where. Okay.
Life support has been replenished. Get ready for a capsule.
I guess this Nyax over there would get back over here. Because we still got 10 minutes, well, 9 minutes before we can leave, so.
I've delivered another life support.
Hey, an Orkin cell, that's good. Now, we're doing all of this, and we're going to be... So, there's a series of events over the next 3 weekends. This weekend is the War on Lancers. First, we do this mission, and we get 10 relics, of which the most important thing you can get out of them is Saren Prime parts. There's some other nice stuff, but really the Saren Prime parts are the most important. If the grand goal of killing Lancers is achieved, then in March we will end up getting a double experience weekend, affinity experience, whatever. Next weekend, there is going to be a war on, I believe it's crewmen, Corpus faction. And so there's going to be a mission like this one. Hopefully not a survival, because this is not the most exciting thing. Where we will have to do whatever the mission is, and we will get another 10 relics of a type that include parts for Saren Prime. And if we kill the necessary number of crewmen, we will end up getting a double credits weekend, which makes sense because, you know, Corpus are all about the money. And then 2 weekends from now, we are going to get the War on Chargers, which are a member of the Infested faction. And as I recall, the bonus for that one is a resource drop bonus, or maybe it's every time maybe it's a resource booster where every time you collect a resource, you get more resources than you would normally. I forget which it is. But all of them are going to be good, and all of the weekends in March are going to be their own separate thing. It's not like all 3 of these things are going to run simultaneously. On a related note, in the not too terribly distant future, it is going to be Warframe's 6th anniversary. This is actually why they're doing this whole war on stuff. And the 6th anniversary is going to include some spiffy skins and the anniversary weapons. builds, which are really good, and we're definitely going to want to pick them up. So hopefully we will be able to do that. And as much, given how things are with the way my internet is, if I cannot stream it, I will at least... Ooh, goodness. If I cannot stream it, I will at least record the details of how it works and put it up on the YouTube channel. Again, link down below to the YouTube channel. And hey, if I can get enough subscribers, I'll actually be able to properly name it youtube.com/Insomniac Gaming Theater, although it's not, I can't do that right now. It makes me sad. Okay, we got less than 5 minutes, which is good because my weapon is starting to run out of... Although we are getting a nice amount of affinity. We're doing very good. Okay. Arsenics and I make everything around them tougher, so they need to die. Alright, we only got 2 minutes left. That's good. We're getting more and more Eximus enemies. Which makes sense because we are getting to higher and higher levels from where we started. Which means the enemies are getting more, pardon the expression, extreme. Fortunately, we have a well-built Revenant. Our build is not terrible, though it definitely could be improved, and just generally speaking, we are doing okay. We're definitely going to last the minute. And we'll have even completed this entire thing without ever, at least at this point, without having gone down once, I think. So that's nice. Alright, less than 30 seconds before we get the extract call.
That should keep you going for a while. Extraction is available.
Alright, now we need to extract
The ring is off to a successful
ASAP.
start.
Because we are done here. Okay, we're heading for extraction. I'm going to trust them to get themselves to extraction. Oop. Over here. Okay, there we go.
Life support has been replenished.
Still the least amount of damage taken. That's good. Our Heck is maxed out, and our Zenith Star is at level 20. That does not suck for basically one mission. That's not bad at all. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and leave squad. Let's see here. So, what all can we hang on our Heck right now? So we want to put Vigilante Armaments. And... oh. Blank. Charged Shell and Contagious Spread, and it all just barely fits. Perfection. Well, not really. We're gonna have, if we really want to make this as good as it can be, we're gonna have to add eventually even more forma. But for the moment, this is very, very good, because that is a truckload of damage. Alright, and then we're going to add...
Operator, Ordis wonders, what are you thinking about?
And then, as I recall, we wanted to do this for Corpus, because that gives us... oh, no. There we go. Gas and magnetic. Very good against Corpus. But we're going to be going and hunting Grenier for now. We need to get rid of this. This is bad. Okay, so we're going to go back over here to our grinding build. Our Heck is at maximum rank. That's good. We're not going to throw another forma in it anytime soon. And I think we're going to equip the kunai. They're not a particularly great weapon, but they're something. Oh. We should definitely put Lethal Torrent on there instead. Definitely should do that. Critical chance is terrible. Oh, yes, we picked this up. So, despite the fact that you have to be MR8 to receive a Riven mod via trade, after every dev stream they do gift from the Lotus, right? And it's usually one of the things is for an Orokin reactor, and the other Orokin reactor or Orokin catalyst, and the other thing is for a Riven. And they put one on a planet that we could get to. So I went and I did it, despite the fact that I don't like Riven mods. I actually think they're terrible. And at some point, we will unveil this, and I will explain to you why Riven mods are terrible. But that is a conversation for another day. We're going to go over here. We're going to look at... Okay. So that is what we have the most of, is the S9s, which have... So, they have a number of things in them. Lex Prime Barrel. Lex Prime never gets vaulted. It is always available. Spear Prime Blueprint. So, this is actually not available all of the time. You need to pick it up at the appropriate time. The Brayton Prime Blueprint. This never gets vaulted. Brayton Prime is always available, and so we will eventually build a Brayton Prime because we're going to want the mastery from it. But I feel the need to note that, as I have said with all of the Brayton line, the Brayton Prime it's actually the apotheosis of its line of weapons, which is to say it is mediocre in every way. It has decent fire rate, it does decent damage, it has decent critical chance, it has decent critical or decent status chance, but it doesn't excel at anything. It's just a basic assault rifle. That's it. So, yeah. And then Forma, if we get one, we'll build them. But generally speaking, there are better ways to get Forma. Oh dear. And then Saren Prime Neuroptics. This is the golden ticket here. This is the thing that we really want. This is the Saren Prime Neuroptics. And then the Spear Prime Pouch, which you need to build the Spear Prime. This is really the thing that we want. And then we go over here to our foundry. As I recall, we randomly picked up, and indeed, we randomly picked up a Saren Prime Systems Blueprint. That's very nice. Which means we don't actually have to worry about getting these out of the relics. Now, if we get some extras, that's nice. Because any extras we can sell for platinum. Because Saren Prime is always worth platinum. Because she is generally considered to be the best Warframe out there for Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. Which we have not done yet. Okay, so what all is available? Oh yes, Marus. So let me show you why Limbo Prime is one of my favorite Warframes. I love him to death for this. So we're going to go to Maru's. Alright. So we need to get over to Maru.
Hey, if you're looking for Maru's Bazaar,
And look for Ayatan treasures.
That's the spirit.
Okay, they're sending us to the derelict. Now you may recall way back when, or not, and if you don't recall, like I said, there's an archive over on the YouTube channel. You can use Maru's place to get to the derelict long before you can realistically get there.
Okay, the Ayatan treasure's marked on your map. Time to go to work.
Okay. So, we jumped into the rift. Now, I want to point out, we are in the rift. Right? Lasers. Death lasers. Doesn't do a thing to us. Enemies. Standing all around us. Trying to kill us. Can't touch us. It's our cheesy early 90s music here.
Mind that an Ayatan treasure lies somewhere in this derelict. And yet, I haven't seen food in this place for
Oh, okay.
Ayatan in the system. You, on the other hand.
That was a juggernaut. They were lured out by the death of infested. Lay low, and it should
Yeah,
go away, or
but we're not going to kill anything. We're not here to kill anything. We're here to collect an Ayatan treasure and depart. Alright.
Well, this should be fun. Maybe you should stretch first. You know, limber up.
I am no longer detecting signs of a juggernaut. Move on. You are safe.
Alright. Fortunately, they give us a nice long time limit on this one. So... And we can totally ignore all of the damaging things. Slide under here, jump up, and...
My, oh my, I think you found it.
Okay.
That's what we came here for. Your job's done.
Oh, yes. That's an interesting thing to point out. Okay, so, because this is Limbo Prime, and Limbo is a Prime Warframe, you see these orbs? You run by these orbs, and they put us a wave of energy, which gives your frame energy to use to do things. It's neat. And yes, if say we had a buddy who's in a non-Prime Warframe, and they... Oh boy, Stalker. So we actually kind of want Stalker to show up, because we need to get scans of him. But I don't really want him showing up whilst... Okay, we got the scan. That's what's important. Alright. In particular, and I can't go into spoilers here, but in particular, once we pass a certain point in the game, we can't get Stalker scans anymore. Because something happens to Stalker and it changes stuff. Oh, I forgot. Do we have... Yes. I don't have any science. I don't have any more science stars. Okay. I only had one. Bother. Yeah, so I wasn't doing that many general missions. So I am out of amber stars and I am now out of cyan stars. So we're going to need to try and go find things that will give us stars. But that's okay, because we'll get them from doing missions. Alright. Are there any good... Oh, there's about to be a different Mesa mission. Okay. Or a Mesa Fisher. That's good. There's a forward manifestation, but it's almost gone. Alright. So I went through and I was looking at various weapons. And I decided that I wanted to pick up the Sonicore because it's actually a very good weapon that doesn't need a lot of mods. And we'll explain that once we actually build the thing. But we need a couple of Argon crystals for that, so we may do that. Let's make sure, look at profile. My profile.
Will you begin another mission?
Okay, we're still marked for death by Stalker. That's good. I guess factions? Oh! Delightful! We have all of the Stalker scans. I didn't realize that. That's good. See, this little symbol means we have them all. Okay. That's good. Oh, and you may have noticed a mild spoiler here, because we have Stalker and then we have Shadow Stalker. It's important. This is the reason why we wanted to get these first, because Shadow Stalker is... At a certain point, he becomes Shadow Stalker in the storyline, and once you pass that point, you can only get regular Stalker scans if he is... you can only get regular Stalker scans if somebody has not played past that point in the game. And quite a lot of people have. So, there's that. Alright. Let's see. So, we've got Butchers, Lancers, Shield Lancers, Elite Lancers, Heavy Gunners. Okay, there we go. So these are all of the things that we already have, all of the scans that we need for. Trying to remember, I think Frontier Lancers are on Earth. So we might want to go do that. Fortunately, though, it's not like they disappear. It's not like with Stalker, where you only have a few options. we do need to do that, but... Oh, yeah. Because we are going to need to unlock Oro, because we're going to need to do something on Oro. But I don't know that we want to do that right now. And this is a defense against infestation, which will be handy later, but isn't very good right now. Spy, defense. See if we can't raise our Grineer kill count. Oh, hey, that's nice. Okay, so we have an Excal, an Excal Umbra, and me. And a mag. Okay. Okay, they're not gonna be ready for this, so... Somebody left. Okay. Wow. Well, that was very rude. No, I don't think I would like to reconnect with that squad. I am, however, hoping that there's another Meso mission. No? That annoys me. Because I don't especially feel like doing a spy mission as a fisher. They're not very enjoyable. Oh, we forgot to add mods to this. That's terrible. Why didn't you say something? Messing with you. Relax. Okay. We can do that. And then... Can we put... We can put this on here. Ew. And get corrosive. That's good. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So we need one argon crystal. Really?
Well put together, operator. Now get out there and...
Cut down the...
and make the Lotus proud.
Interesting. So we'll put stretch on here, because that gives us ability range, making our bubble even bigger. And we have a huge energy pool, which is nice. Don't mind me, I'm thinking about stuff. Interesting. still have busted flow? Why do we still have busted flow? Give me 1 second, I need to check something. Oh, excuse me. Hmm. Pardon me. Had to cough for a second there. I know this isn't terribly exciting to look at. I'm trying to see what something is going for price-wise on Warframe.market. Because there is a mod I would actually really like. But I need to see what it's going for. Interesting. I'll have to think about that for a moment. Alright. So we got about 11 hours in which for the community to kill all of the Lancers. Let's see if we can't find a friendlier squad. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out a way to do this without annoying all of my fellow players to death. Yeah. Alright. There's two of us now. Yeah, we're just monkeying around at this point. We've got two limbos now. And these guys are low enough level that crossing into the Cataclysm kills them. Yeah, that's one of the few things that can hurt you is there's a limit on the skybox, and if you come near it, instead of teleporting you down, it will just kill you. And yes, you can have multiple limbo bubbles simultaneously. It is hilarious. By the way, since Limbo's bubble slowly shrinks, if you have determined enough, especially melee-oriented enemies, they will hit the edge of the bubble, and if you have stasis on, they'll hit the edge of the bubble, freeze, the bubble will shrink, they'll run into the bubble again, take damage, it'll shrink, they'll take damage on the way out, run it again, it'll shrink, and so on like that. I've actually seen it be used to murder a whole bunch of people. It's kind of funny. And believe it or not, that's not even as big as the bubble can get, but it's pretty big. Alright.
Extraction is ready. Unless you can handle more of the enemy.
Okay, we'll go another 10
Continue
rounds.
to defend. You will be rewarded for your bravery.
Or 5 rounds. Hehe, my bubble's bigger than yours. Oh yeah, brand new player, brand new player. Okay. Okay. Ooh boy. I think something big hit us. I'm not sure what though. I actually like this energy color because it's bright enough that you could notice it without being eye-searing. Ooh, neuros. Oh, yes, we need to do that, but not tonight. Because I need to show you all how to do corrupted mod farming. Right. But yes, if you're playing Limbo, you want to spend as much time in the Rift as possible because the Rift is your domain. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who still have bad memories of bad Limbos. Oh, right. Who spent all of their time trolling people. I try to be fairly careful with my Limbo powers, but I am aware that not everybody knows that you need to get out of the bubble in order to shoot people. Unless they're in the bubble. And these guys can't really be in the bubble because the bubble kills them. And yes, now I'm just showing off. Hey, Lancers! Delightful. Given that we need to kill Lancers. Wow! 80 endo from one guy. That's unusual. Yeah, and I'm not bothering to use stasis because they run into the circle, into the bubble, and they keel over dead. It ain't a lot of experience, but it's easy. Yeah, that's another sign that it is getting late. Alright. So I got one more thing we're going to do after we're done with this. And we're leaving it after this wave. Excuse me.
Reinforcements available. Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting?
Alright, we are done. We're departing.
That's the last of them. Objective is secure. Let's go home.
We picked up a spare streamline. That's always nice. Got some ranks on some things. Not too shabby at all. Alright. Ooh, that's snazzy. I like that. That looks good. Ooh, very nice. Oh, yes, and the reason why Limbo does not... Interesting. Why Limbo is not copying our normal appearance set is because his default appearance set I actually think is really quite nice. So...
Operator, I've run diagnostic regressions. All systems nominal. You don't need to thank me.
Okay. Oh, yes. What do we have here? Ooh, all good stuff. We're going to go ahead and stick with that. And... we don't need to suppress it because it... Pathogen rounds you to charge. Do we not have any of the... That's odd. We don't have anything that does cold damage. That's interesting. Well, for now we can't really put anything else on here, so we'll ignore it. Alright, we're going to go get some argon crystals. Hopefully we're going to get 3 of them. We're going to put it on friends only. We're going to go to Hepit.
We received intel that somebody vital to enemy operations is here. Find them and capture them.
Okay, so, worth noting. Limbo's Cataclysm can and will crack.
We cannot let our target know we're here. Track them down quickly.
All kinds of containers.
Target located. Bring them in.
And yes, you can capture them from inside the rift, which is just so handy against captured targets.
Mission complete.
All right.
Captain has been escorted to the extraction point. Well done.
We're going to go back the way we started. And we're going to go looking for argon crystals. An Eximus. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so if the exit's that way, we're gonna go this way. Okay. Alright. That's interesting. Yes, I love Limbo because he excels at the dimension hopping, and it can be a lot of fun to play around with. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, but he is definitely mine. Alright. Oh, hey, one of these rooms. This room is actually fairly easy, just normally, but it's especially easy for Limbo. Because you're like, traps? What are traps? Yeah. However, Limbo is still affected by gravity. Hey, Cyan Star. Nice. Nothing? How sad. Ah! Are you kidding me? Man, I feel rusty. Alright. Okay, I think... Oh, no. We did do all of these. Hey, there we go. Alright, we need 3 of those. By the way, I had somebody once tell me that you only get 1 Argon crystal